Yulrotzoin imrefi vehegyoin libi lefonecho adonoi tzuri vegoyali. May the words of my mouth and the thoughts of my heart be acceptable before you, O God, my rock and my redeemer. We begin this week by looking deep into the text of Parsha Shelach, the Torah portion of Shelach. This is a portion that contains one of the most unfortunate and tragic and profound events perhaps in our entire history. The simple physical explanation teaches us about the sending of the 12 Meraglim, the spies, to scout out Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel. Read the clear directive in Bamidbar Numbers. Shlach lecho anoshim vayosur es Eretz Canaan asher ani noisein livnei Yisrael. Send yourself men and let them spy. Let them spy out the land of Canaan, which I am giving to the children of Israel. We know the basic narrative. Moses selects 12 great men. They are leaders, princes of their tribe. They journey into the land and they witness its physical reality. They see fortified cities, they see giants. And when they return, they bring back a cluster of grapes so massive, so big, it takes several men to carry it. But instead of rejoicing, 10 of these meraglim, of these spies, deliver a report of terror. They claim that the land consumes its inhabitants. They say that they felt like mere grasshoppers in the eyes of the giants. Their fear infects the entire camp. The people weep and declare that they would rather return to Egypt than go into this land. This is the basic layer. A simple lack of faith, a failure of courage in the face of a physical intimidation. But we must look and pause much deeper into this, because these men were not ordinary cowards. They were the spiritual elite of that generation. They had witnessed the splitting of the sea. They had stood at Har Sinai, at Mount Sinai. How could such elevated souls make such a catastrophic error? The big secret of the Meraglim, the spies, is not about the fear of physical giants. It is about a deep, profound, spiritual resistance. To understand this, we must look at the spiritual state of the Jewish people in the Midbar, the desert. In the desert, they lived in a perfect spiritual, if you will, incubator. This state in Kabbalah is known as the phase of Ibur, conception, a state of passive spiritual incubation, and in a state of Yenika, nursing, a state of receiving without effort. This means it was a time of passive spiritual feeding. They did not have to work the land. They did not have to engage in commerce or physical labor. Their food, the manna, fell directly from heaven. Their water flowed miraculously from a rock. They were surrounded and protected by the clouds of glory, the Ananei HaKovod. Everything they received was pure Mayim Duchrin, spiritual masculine waters. This concept means a flow of divine energy descending from above that requires absolutely no physical effort from below. They simply sat and absorbed the highest level of Torah. By doing nothing, by just being passive and receiving from above. But entering Eretz Yisrael, the land of Israel, represented a massive shift. It meant transitioning from passive state of Yenika, of nursing, into the demanding, active state of Moichin, intellectual maturity, the active state of spiritual adulthood. Entering the land meant that they would have to plow the fields. They would have to plant seeds. They would have to build an economy and an army. They would have to engage directly with the lowest physical reality. And to draw down divine blessing in the land, they would have to generate Mayim Nukbin, spiritual feminine waters. This term refers to human initiation. It means we must take physical action from below to trigger the spiritual flow from above. The 10 Meraglim, the spies, looked at this physical reality and they were literally terrified of the spiritual descent. They believed that if they engaged with the mud, the soil, and the complicated business of daily life, their connection to the divine would be severed. They wanted to remain in a pure spiritual bliss in the Midbar. They wanted to stay completely separated from the material world. They just wanted to receive from above, as they did. But this is the fundamental error. And here we uncover the blinding light of this portion. Here comes the point. The ultimate goal of creation is not, I repeat, is not to escape the physical world. It is to achieve tikkun hapartzufim, rectification of the divine structures. This means building a complete and mature spiritual system. The divine architecture requires the complete unification of Ze'er Anpin, the lesser countenance, the active, emotional divine persona, with Nukba, the feminine persona, which represents our physical, earthly reality. We cannot leave the physical world empty. True Kabbalistic work is not meditating on a mountain top, away from society, away from human beings. True work is tikkun hamidot, rectification of character traits. It is refining or trying to refine our internal attributes. It is taking the profound light of the heavens and bringing it down into our heavy, complex vessels of our everyday life, building ourselves into clear, unbroken vessels. The two, Joshua, Yehoshua, and Kalev, faithful spies, understood this very profound secret. They knew that the ultimate moichin, intellectual state, is found precisely when we elevate the messy physical world. This is why Kalev declares, Toiv ha'oretz me'oid me'oid. The land is very, very good. Note the word twice me'oid, very, very. The repetition of the word very hints at this dual perfection. It is good in the spiritual realms and it is good in the physical realms. By harmonizing the right column of chesed, loving kindness, with the left column of gevurah, severity, we create a perfect balance of tiferes, harmony, right here on earth. The spies failed because they refused to do the hard work of tikkun, of rectification. They wanted the light without the vessel. But we are called to be builders. We are called to step into the physical world with all of its heavy burdens and transform it into a dwelling place for the divine. So here's our real world challenge. This is how we bring heavens down to earth for this week. This week we're going to identify a heavy interpersonal or professional responsibility that we've been actively avoiding. Perhaps it's a difficult confrontation, a fractured relationship, or complex communal duty that feels too messy to handle or too difficult to handle. Instead of retreating into the spiritual comfort zone, we want to step directly into this discomfort. Handle it with maturity, directness, and integrity. By doing this, we are generating our very own Mayim Nukuin, feminine waters. We are engaging in active tikkun hamidot, rectification of character traits. We are proving that we have the moichin, the intellectual maturity, to hold divine light in the most challenging human interactions without shattering. We are balancing our internal sephirot, our internal divine emanations, and proving that holiness is built through accountability and action. And if you thought the secrets of Parsha Shelach were a profound lesson in achieving the spiritual maturity, wait until next week when you unveil the secrets of the cosmic imbalance and the destructive rebellion of strict judgment in Parshat Korach. I truly hope you enjoyed this short Parsha lesson and hopefully tune in for more next week, Be'ezrat Hashem, with God's help. Thank you for joining me, and I'd like to wish you and to your family and to everyone a beautiful Shabbos, a peaceful Shabbos to spend with the family and have a lovely time together. Thank you for listening.